Hi, I'm Gail Jervis, and welcome to Life After 65. I'm so excited today to begin a new series called Clear the Clutter. Now, do you keep procrastinating? You know that you need to declutter your home, but you just keep putting it off? Do you want to start this project, but somehow you just can't get motivated to begin? Well, in today's episode, I'm going to give you 12 questions, and your answers to those questions will help you uncover what it will take to inspire and encourage you to begin decluttering. For some of us, decluttering can be a mixed experience. For some reason, we might quickly organize a closet in a few hours, and then suddenly we get stuck on another room. We can't decide what to do with the chair that we know that doesn't really fit the size of our room. It doesn't really fit our personal taste. And we somehow shut down because we can't make that one decision about that item. Or perhaps you've held on to multiple dinnerware sets. Some you may have bought over the years, but others you may have inherited. And you just keep avoiding going through those cupboards since you know you're not going to be able to decide what to do with them. And so you just stop and ignore it. Well, as we face the many decisions required in every corner of our home, we experience decision overload. And when we just feel like, I can't make that many decisions, we decide, you know what, I'll start this project another day. However, I'm going to give you 12 questions, and these questions will hopefully help you clarify what is stopping you from starting this project and what can motivate you to begin. So number one, do you get overwhelmed when you think about how big is this project? Especially if you've lived in a home for over 20, 25, 30 years, you know you have a lot to go through. But one possible solution is ask yourself, what specific spaces would I feel good about if I just prioritized uncluttering those one or two spaces? Perhaps you might start with just the bedroom. You don't start saying I'm going to unclutter the whole house. You might just say I'm going to unclutter the bedroom or the kitchen, the closets, the living room. Just start one space. Are you still clinging to your old lifestyle? Are you reluctant to get rid of all those clothes you once wore to work? Can you visualize your new life with excitement? Can you choose to get rid of everything that affects this excitement? And it might not just be clothes. It might be all sorts of things that you might have done, even sports-wise, that you know you're never going to get back to. Number three, are you procrastinating since you know you are going to struggle with what should be kept and what should be given away? Does your emotional attachment to the many things in your home cause you to avoid uncluttering? Well, in the next video, I'm going to focus entirely on those sentimental items, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to handle those special sentimental and nostalgic items. But for now, you're just focusing on what is causing you to slow down and perhaps not unclutter or declutter. Is it just because you know that there's nostalgic items throughout the whole house? Could you just leave those alone for now and begin decluttering other things? Or are you avoiding decluttering because you don't even know how to begin? Okay, I've already said prioritize a room you most want to clutter, but for those of you who are really overwhelmed and just think, oh, this project is too big, I'm just going to have to wait for another time, can you make that task even smaller? Can you just choose perhaps one side of the room to unclutter? Could you just choose the drawers to unclutter? Number five, are you afraid to start? Since you are so afraid, all you're going to do is pull a whole bunch of stuff out, and now you have a bigger mess. However, would you be more motivated if you decided to clear out only one small section so that you can complete it in a set period of time? As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing an episode discussing how people who with chronic illness have to start smaller. But those tips don't just apply to the chronically ill. They can apply to any one of us who get overwhelmed by a large project. Number six, you might even have an idea that you would like to clear out one of the rooms, and maybe you want to create a hobby room now, or maybe a special guest room. But I'm just so overwhelmed. I don't totally know what it looks like. I don't totally know what I need to buy. I need to get rid of all that other stuff. Wow. If you focus on how will you feel if you have that project room, could you begin that project if you know somebody who maybe has done a project similarly and you could talk to and brainstorm with and get you just a little bit more excited to finally say, now's the time to do it. Number 7, well, do you have some health challenges? You know, when you have health challenges, these projects are really overwhelming. Excuse me. You may think you're overwhelmed with being healthy. You think of a person who has difficulty standing any length of time. You think of a person who's in a lot of pain. These challenges are horrendous. But some of those challenges can be managed by uncluttering one drawer at a time, one box at a time. I'm chronically ill. So it took me a while. Okay, I've watched these videos about how to clean out your bedroom wardrobe closet. I was just about, well, I was almost overwhelmed just watching it, because what they did is that they took every item out of the wardrobe closet and threw it on the bed, and they went through each one of those items that one day. Well, I can't do that. And so I thought, oh, I'll never be able to clean up my bedroom closet. And then I thought, you know what? Just start with a few items at a time. And yes, it took me more than a day to clean up my wardrobe closet, but it still got finished. And I still felt really accomplished by slowly getting that project done. In other words, can your project be made more manageable? Can you prioritize your project? Can you simplify your project so that you aren't overwhelmed? Especially if you end up having to leave it all sitting out on the bed another day, and you might oh, I can't get back to it now. It's such a big mess. If you'd like more tips, if you're health challenged, the next episode will be about questions to answer when you're decluttering as a person who has health challenges. Number 8, do you know what words you would like to use to describe your home when you have finished uncluttering? In other words, do you have a vision for why you're uncluttering? Are you just uncluttering because, well, everybody else seems to be uncluttering? Are you uncluttering just because, well, I think my wardrobe closet is a little bit stuffed right now? Those are good reasons. However, what if you create other images in your mind of what decluttering can accomplish for you? Are you trying to create a space that perhaps is more calming and peaceful? Perhaps you're wanting a room or a home that's more orderly and organized. Can you begin to imagine what each room needs to look like so that you can use any words that you are using to describe your space? Number 9, do you know what you hope to gain from decluttering your home? You've got to know why. No wonder you might not be motivated if you just think, oh, I just got so much in this house, I just need to do it. As soon as you start saying need, those are hard words, aren't they? I need to do something. But what if you turned it into, actually, I want to declutter my home because what? I want physical space. I want more mental clarity. I want more. I want it to be easier to clean and maintain my home. Perhaps it might actually be a more peaceful, less stressful place when it has less stuff in it. Is it a space that reflects my current lifestyle? Could you get motivated just thinking, a lot of this furniture, a lot of these clothes, a lot of these ornaments, a lot of these dishes actually don't reflect who I am now. Can that help you feel motivated? By just having a vision as to why you're decluttering. You might be saying, I just want to reduce time spent looking for things. If you have a stuffed closet, trust me, it's a lot harder to figure out what you even need to wear. Oh, no, that one's a little bit too small. No, I don't really wear that one anymore. They're all in your way from your simplified daily routine. Number 10, have you considered what are your main sources of clutter? And then that is what you focus on. Is it your clothes? Is it paper? Your sentimental items or kitchen items? Can you just begin uncluttering some of those main sources? Number 11, can you answer the question, how will a decluttered space support my lifestyle goals? Again, you might say, you know what? It's going to give me more space to focus on new hobbies. I feel like I can't even take out my boxes of what I'd like to do for hobbies now because I don't really have the space. Or is it space to make entertaining guests easier? Is it space to perhaps create more time for what matters to me? Focus on why you're actually thinking about uncluttering. As you've been answering these questions, are you discovering strategies to help you move forward on this project? Please leave your comments below. What is motivating you to declutter your home? Do you know why you're decluttering your home? Do you know what you're trying to accomplish when you're decluttering your home? If you've enjoyed this episode, please click the notify button and the subscribe button, and you'll receive more episodes in the next few sessions at least about decluttering, and you'll be asking yourself questions as far as even what to do with the sentimental items. And if you're health challenged, you'll find some tips on how can I do this project without actually increasing my pain. Now, as you've answered these questions, I hope you're going to be motivated just to take that first step toward creating a home that truly reflects who you are now, not in the past, who you are now, and that it can support your well-being. Decluttering, it isn't just about getting rid of a bunch of things, is it? It's about making room for what truly matters in your life. It actually gives you space to breathe, time to focus. It gives you energy to enjoy the things and people you love. Remember that each decision you make is a step toward more intentional, peaceful, and joyful environment. But be patient with yourself. Celebrate every small victory along the way. If it's just a drawer, if it's just a cupboard, say, wow, done. When I get overwhelmed, I'm just going to look at that organized drawer. Decluttering is a process. It's not even a one-time event. Eventually, if you even do get your decluttering under control, it's surprising how many times the other things start filtering in. You might have to start decluttering again, but it won't be as big a job. So my suggestion to you is start small, just like all those questions we're leading up to. You know why? You have your priorities. You start small, you stay consistent, and you trust the transformation that's unfolding in your space and in your mindset. I'd love to read your comments below. Now, I'd like to conclude this episode by quoting what organizer Andrew Mellon has written about decluttering, and he says, being organized is not about getting rid of everything you own. It's not about trying to become a different person. It's about living the way you want to live, but better.